Patriots have stuck as a 4.5-point underdog, and Drake Maye is great at the deep ball, better than anyone in the league. He has been great against the blitz, better than just about anyone in the league. He has been better running the football than any quarterback other than Josh Allen. However, everyone has forgotten that, at least in part because the last two games he has played defenses that I think are better equipped to slow him than this one, which is said to be the number one defense in the league. I thought that Denver and Houston had the specific things that could slow Stephon Diggs and others that Seattle doesn't have. I don't regard, you guys help me with, because I know what the numbers say. The numbers say Seattle is the best defense in the league. I think Denver and Houston were the single worst matchups that Drake Maye could have seen, that there were not worse ones anywhere in the league. I think he should fear Seattle less than those two, but Seattle is the best defense in the league.
And, Greg, it's the first time that he's faced one of these elite defenses with the benefit, at least recently, of good weather. That's another layer to the numbers that he's put up. Not just two of the top three defenses in the league, but in terrible weather games.
Right. I'm surprised the line hasn't crept down a little bit. I love the Pats getting 4.5. I think the Patriots are going to win outright. I predicted it in my own podcast, and I'm going to predict it in the Herald tomorrow and explain why. But what I think is, look, the reason New England beat Houston in the playoffs is that New England's defense outplayed Houston's defense. I don't think that's accurate. I think that C.J. Stroud was terrible in that game, and Drake Maye just didn't make the giant mistakes that C.J. Stroud was making. I didn't think that was because of New England. I think that was because C.J. Stroud in the playoffs had two giant turnover games. I think part of that, though, was the Patriots' defense, which I think is really, really underrated. I think New England's defense is on a par with Seattle's, and I think Drake Maye is better than Sam Darnold. I think Darnold's going to revert to his tendency and have a couple of turnovers. I just think New England is really being underrated going into this game, and maybe that Seattle's being a little bit overrated.
So here's where we are on the Patriots, right? They've gotten lucky in some spots. They've had an easy schedule. They have withstood somehow the fact that the right side of their offensive line is injured and can't block. Like, they've somehow withstood that. The point that you guys are making about the weather is a good one. We have not been reminded of how good this quarterback actually is during these playoffs because of the defenses he's playing against. But the reason I underregard the metrics that say that Seattle's defense is indeed great is because I saw the last two Rams games against them. Like, they didn't look like a great defense. They didn't, never mind the number one defense in the league, they didn't look like a good defense because of how Matt Stafford and Puka Nacua made them look. So while you have the stat that the last month of the season, the Seattle defense did not allow a single play of over 20 yards. But both times around that they faced a quarterback like this one, they allowed the Rams to run all over the field. The Seahawks did not win those games because of their defense. They won the first one because of special teams and because their coach went for a 2-point conversion. And they won the second one because Sam Darnold torched a Rams defense that over the last 9 games of the seasons had allowed scoring drives on 40% of their drives.
Well, so a couple things. You know, that great Seattle defense going up against the Rams and Matthew Stafford, who's probably going to win the MVP. I don't think there's any shame in the MVP of the league having a good game.
And the number one offense in the league.
Yeah, I don't think there's any shame in that having a good game against a great defense.
They're division opponents. They're well familiar, and that's Sean McVay we're talking about.
And the second part that I would add also, I think it's in his 3 years as head coach of the Seahawks, McDonald, lowercase d, Greg, all right? Quarterbacks who are 24 years old or younger are, like, terrible against that defense.
But most of the quarterbacks who are 24 and younger are terrible. Very few of them are as good as this one. What Seattle does, okay? Can you look up for me the last time Seattle allowed a 100-yard rusher? Because Drake May's going to have to win this football game. It's not going to get won by them running the football or because they're doing a whole bunch of play action because Seattle fears the run. I think Seattle's got the longest stretch in the league by a good amount of not allowing a 100-yard rusher. The Patriots are just not going to be I can't imagine the Patriots are going to be able to run the football. Seattle's the number one defense in the league because you cannot run against them. Nobody can run against Seattle, and the Rams don't have to, right? The Rams ran some against Seattle, but the way the Rams are going to beat you is because the quarterback is going to act like the MVP.
When I say that we may be seeing the beginning of Patriots Dynasty 2.0, it's because of Drake Maye. He's 23 years old. He's going to finish second behind Stafford in the MVP vote. I think he's that good. I'm not comparing to Brady. That's 5 years from now that you even dare do that. But I think Drake Maye is that good right now.
It's 20 years from now that you do that with Tom Brady. Don't insult Tom Brady by comparing anybody to him. But
okay, 5 years from now, if he's won 2 Super Bowls, people are going to be comparing.
That's fine. They can, and he still will not be halfway to how many Super Bowls Tom Brady has won.
He won't be a third of the way.
If he wins 3 in the next 5 years.
The thing, though, about Drake Maye, I'm going to say it again because I think Greg is right when he says a lot of people, myself included, have underregarded the Patriots. The 3 things he has that a quarterback must have, better at the deep ball than anyone in the league. Seattle's very good at explosive plays. Seattle has a ton of explosive offense because Smith and Jigba is amazing. The 3 things that I want my quarterback to have, never mind against a great defense, period. Better at the long ball than anybody. Better against the blitz than just about anybody. And then as an added bonus, can run better at the position than anyone but Josh Allen. That presents a set of problems to the Seattle defense that Stafford did not because he couldn't run. Couldn't go anywhere. Stunned me when he converted a 4th and 1 and Tom Brady's shouting, "Oh my God." And I'm telling you, I would have been less surprised if my coffee table had gotten up and run and gained 3 yards. When Stafford ran for 2 yards, I was like, that's crazy. I do believe that the way Drake Maye has beaten teams all year is the way that Patrick Mahomes would. Remember all those 3rd and 7 plays where Patrick Mahomes would run 8 yards? Drake Maye took that from him this year. Drake Maye was doing a ton of that where he was bailing that offense out when it failed 2 times and bailing them out when a 3rd play was failing on a drive because he's just running for 8 yards on 3rd and 7.
To your point on their defense, they did not allow a single 100-yard rusher all season.
It's longer than that. I think it's been more than 2 seasons almost, hasn't it?
Well, sure. I thought we were doing sort of the defenses and transferable from one year to the next.
Why didn't you also look up last year?
Because I was trying to find the stat to get to you guys. So there were only 3 players to rush for over 80 individually. They were Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, and Kyron Williams. They had 7 games this season where the total rushing yards for the opponent was even over 100 yards. And in several of those, it was through the example that you're talking about, where it was like Washington and Jaden Daniels was running in one of the games he was healthy. So it takes the quarterback being able to scramble to do anything against it. I will go find the last time they allowed a 100-yard rusher.
I just feel like if it extends into the previous season or even the season before that, like I'd like to know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Sam Darnold does run some, and I think the streak, I don't know if it goes into the 20s, but it dates back to last season.
25 games.
The thing, though, that is most interesting to me about all of the scheming, all of the planning. McDonald's obviously a great coach. Vrabel is a great coach. If the Patriots are going to win, to me, in my mind, there's only one way that it happens, and it's when plays break down. And it doesn't have anything to do with planning, and it doesn't have anything to do with how you've game planned, and it doesn't have anything to do with preparation or will or anything else. It's just Drake Maye's in a panic, and he busted everything open, and it not only allows him to run for 50 yards a game, it also allows him to throw that deep ball while rolling around in the pocket because he's bought extra time against the defense that Stafford cannot buy against that defense.
And that dude is entirely capable The first time I saw Drake Maye in person was at Hard Rock Stadium. I'm like, this kid is outrageous. The second time I saw him in person was at Chapel Hill, and I saw a Miami defense perfectly execute its game plan against some nuke plays at the line of scrimmage, and it wasn't enough. He'd either throw a bomb downfield that with pinpoint accuracy, or he'd call his own number and be Superman. This guy is entirely possible of saying, I'm going to put the team on my shoulders today and getting it done against a good defense.
The way that Cody describes this, though, and this is the thing that I would fear if I were a Seattle fan, okay? Because I'm going to keep banging it home on this front. The reason that there aren't more giant explosive plays in that sport deep down the field is because of the amount of precision it requires to throw a ball 50 yards and have everything be perfect, and this guy does it better than anyone in the league. I'm routinely stunned by the amount of accuracy that he has 30, 40, 50 yards down the field.
You're pounding the table literally for Drake Maye. I'm on 4.5. I'll take it. And it's Vrabel as an underdog. This one's easy.
You say it's easy.
Yeah, 4.5. Give me the points.
Does feel easy to bet.
Give me the points. And
give it to me.
If you even want to take the Seahawks, why don't you hedge against that and cook up a little Drake Maye's Superman parlay with like rushing yards or what have you, because that is New England's chance in this game. Drake Maye becomes Superman. So hedge against Seahawks minus 4.5 with that if you want to take action in this one.
I'm all over Seattle.
I am too, actually, even though I just pounded the table for Drake
Us
Maye.
saying that definitely didn't help.
Well, that's true. That's always true, that anything that looks like it's easy in that sport is never easy. But the safer bet, I'm guessing the entirety of this season, would be just take the points under any circumstance in any game, because football is always being football, and it's weirdly close late in a bunch of games that you never expect it to be.
Wouldn't it be great if just one time it was easy?
No.
No, what do you mean no?
I want a great game.
I want a
that's
great
close.
game.
But I want the money.
But
Wouldn't it be great if it was just easy one time?
I know, but that's why I'm shocked the line hasn't moved. I would think it'd be 3.5 by now.
It's because of the last two games the Patriots have played, and because people are forgetting what Drake Maye did all season. This is what they're also forgetting. They're forgetting what Sam Darnold did for 10 games of the season because of what the last one looked like. Sam Darnold erased an awful lot, and we got one of our favorite conversation points making an appearance all over ESPN today. If Sam Darnold wins, will he be considered elite? Yes. I haven't heard this one since Joe Flacco.
I know. I was making fun of that headline earlier today. It's crazy. No, I think it takes more than a Super.
How about very good?
Especially if he doesn't win it. If the defense wins it and he has an average game, I think he's still Sam Darnold. I could be wrong.
What if he has over 300 yards and the game-winning touchdown?
He's elite.
I believe that Sam Darnold will throw interceptions again.
Yes, I do too.
And, I think, are they, with Gonzalez playing or starting, they've lost like once this season? Like as a corner, he's elite. He's elite as a corner. I think he's Surtain, but he's in the conversation of best players there are in that league on defense.
It looks like the books have finally adjusted to JSN, though. That the over-under on
Jackson SN?
Yeah, the over-under on his total is insane because you cannot guard this guy effectively.
It's like Puka. You can't bet that. I'm not betting over 7.5 catches. I don't care who you are.
They know who to call when they need a big play. And it doesn't matter if he's not even open when you throw it. He'll get open.